All right.
So welcome, guys. Thanks very much for coming. So this is our first vlog. Happy to see you all. Do you just want to do a quick intro, starting with Steve?
Yeah, no, I'm Steve. I can pretty well see the stadium from my bedroom window, rising up on the horizon. So I'm close by, and hopefully at some stage I'll be able to get back into the stadium.
Good stuff, Steve. Kamal?
I can't see the stadium from where I am. I'm in Florida, so it's pretty far away. But I've been a season ticket holder for a very long time and watch every single game. Last year, I don't think I missed one game, even though I wish I had missed a load.
Okay, excellent. Jamal?
I'm in Connecticut, and I've been a Tottenham fan since first went to the stadium in '99, and try not to miss a game since then.
Excellent. Good stuff. And last but not least, my name is Reyes. I was born in Stoke Newington, so it's either Tottenham or Arsenal. And unfortunately, we chose Tottenham. And I've been a mad Spurs fan since, obviously, I've been growing up here as well. So I had all the pains that you guys have gone through, so I can share all your pains. So, guys, that's great. We'll just spend 15, 20 minutes. Let's talk about the match today, what you thought, what's happening, etc. Just your general views and any ideas. So why don't you start, Kamal, because I know you've got a lot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when you talk about a game of two halves, that really was a game of two halves. I mean, what a joke, right? I mean, all I want to say is that, I mean, we've got so many issues, even though we won 5-2. But I think Mora and Ndombele, I mean, what the hell were they doing in the first half? Discuss.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Ndombele did some patches, but I didn't see the work rate there, etc. Mora, a lot of work rate, but no output. So I'm not sure what value he's adding to the team. What do you think, Steve?
Well, I mean, I share some of those views. And Ndombele, I thought, didn't have as bad a game as he had in the past, and he did make the equalising goal. Yeah. He did sort of turn the Southampton player and play the ball through, which allowed the goal. Yeah, so I'm happy to that. I saw also that his knee was heavily strapped.
Oh, I didn't see that actually. No, I didn't see that.
I think he may well have, been substituted for that. But Kamal's right. It was a game of two halves, and the first half was bloody appalling. All I can say, it was better than Everton, where we were utterly hopeless. And I don't know what's happening with the Dele Alli situation. I've only really just caught up with that. They're talking about him going on loan, which wouldn't seem sensible to me. I thought we'd want him there in our armoury, as it were. But no, all's well that ends well, really.
Yeah.
We've got to get rid of Son. He's useless. No, he missed one. He should have had 5.
Yeah, but definitely had
6. So we could stay on the side.
Yeah. Well, him and Kane are just. It was ridiculous.
Amazing, yeah.
I saw a strange stat that says that that's the first time that 4 goals have been assisted and by one player, and also scored by the same player. So
interesting! I didn't know that.
No! I could add to that stat. Since Adebayor did it for us in 2012.
Oh,
okay.
Apparently, he had 4 assists for Tottenham in a game.
Well,
Adebayor did. Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
So, Jamal, what's your views on the match?
I thought it was. The first half was. It was pretty early for us. We're up at 7, so it was a little hard to stay awake for most of it. But I mean, the goal was coming. From what I was watching, we were very defensive. But I think that's just how we're going to set up with Mourinho. We're gonna. I think we tried to do the opposite with Everton. We tried to go hard in the first half and then try to absorb pressure in the second half. It just didn't work. I think fair due to Everton because they were just a much better team, and I think they're going to improve this season. They're going to finish very well.
Yeah, they looked pretty good, didn't they?
They did look good yesterday. They looked good against us, and we're just going to get better, I think. And as far as today's match goes, it was all Son. It was all Son and Kane. They were tactically, I don't know what we did that was better than Southampton. We were just faster, stronger. They were playing a crazy high line. I don't know. I mean, like every single time their defenders were on the halfway line. I don't know what they were thinking.
They were going to get caught out, weren't they, at some stage?
Absolutely.
It's the pace of Son and indeed the pace of Mora. I know. I really admire Mora's work rate, even though he sometimes,
goes missing.
And anything can be forgiven of him after Amsterdam.
Absolutely, yeah.
He can do what he wants. But I'm going to have a gripe about my mate, Hugo Lloris. I mean, 1 minute he's brilliant, saving that.
Some amazing saves in the first half.
I think he should have saved that one. This is my issue with Hugo.
I think that's unfair. I think that was a fantastic goal they scored. That ball from
I
Kyle
mean,
Walker-Peters.
yes.
Always like to see him doing well.
Well, I can tell you what, right? The Ings' first touch was incredible.
Yeah,
but you see the two defenders, what were they doing? Were they in the stands watching? I mean,
That
both
is gonna
of
be a
them,
liability
look at that. They should have just stopped and applauded while, oh, great first touch. Please go ahead.
Social distancing. There was social distancing.
It was awful. I mean, we have to discuss the dire situation.
Yeah, we will discuss the dire, but just before we finish, so Jamal thinks that Lloris had no chance with that. I personally think he could have got a hand to it, but what do you think, Steve?
Well, it was across him. It wasn't at his near post, so I'll give him that. I also think Sanchez slightly sort of hesitated. You can see a bit of hesitation. Yeah. He should have got his left foot across for a block, I would say.
Okay, fair enough. So let's sort of pick about the match. Let's talk about the first half, really, where we were really, really bad. What was the problem, do you think, guys? Why were we so bad?
You know, I think Højbjerg had a bad game in the first half. I mean, Winks and him just don't seem to be getting it together with that.
Why they start together?
Was a Ndombele, that was a number 10 role, man. I mean, we really got some issues here. I have to say, you know, put Kane back in there. He's the best creative midfielder we've got.
Exactly. I was going to say, yeah.
I mean, really, what was going on in the first half? Where was the midfield? There was nobody there.
No midfield. They were just bypassing it. I mean, Kane was, as you said, our best creative player. I mean, I don't know what happened in midfield. There was no protection as well, really. They were just swarming forward at will, really. They could have had 3 or 4 goals.
Yeah.
Steve, what do you think?
I think you're right. There didn't seem to be the appetite, the desire. It seemed to me those, particularly on the second balls, as Southampton seemed to be swarming over us. I think we also, when we were breaking, we got caught offside load of times. Yeah. I know that we scored offside goals, but I always feel that attackers should always get onside. Just as a matter of course, always get onside. I know everyone plays on the shoulder of the defender these days, but just always get onside. I think it's lazy when you see an opportunity or a pass that can't be made because an attacker's offside. It's frustrating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we were losing the ball in key areas as well. We good play up to the front and they just lose the ball. The final pass was not very good. I don't know what's going on there. What do you think, Jamal?
I think that's very typical of of all of last season. We played some good football up until the final third and then fall apart. The Lamella syndrome, if you will.
You know, the other stat that you need to know is, apart from all the illegal touches, we had 1 touch in their box in the first half, and that was the goal.
Is that right? Yeah.
I can believe that, actually. I can believe that. It's appalling, isn't it?
I mean, that's first half summed up. And Ndombele did a great little turn and a beautiful little pirouette to pass that ball to Kane and to get Son onto it. But really, I mean, he did look. I mean, his style is he's so ponderous and so slow on the ball. Every time he passes it, he lifts his leg up and it sort of hangs in the air. You know, it's not like there's any urgency there at all. It's like you, Steve, on a 5-a-side court.
But guys, this is the same guy who played for Lyon in the Champions League, and we said this guy's amazing. We need to sign him. So what's changing?
I think. I mean, like he's had an unfair chance. He hasn't never. This is the first time he started. I don't know how long.
True.
And then every time he's played alongside. He's not played to his strengths. He's played to his weaknesses, essentially.
So what do you think his strengths are then, Jamal?
He needs to be given all the freedom. He needs to be given a Dele Alli type of role where he can just kind of move around the pitch, not be required to defend too much. Yeah. I mean, we know what we were in for when we bought him. He's a luxury player. Mourinho is not a luxury manager. You know, he wants them to work hard. And that's why Dele Alli is not starting.
Well, we've got our luxury player now in Gareth Bale.
We've got 3 luxury players. We've got Dele Alli,
they're more than
Ndombele, we got Bale. So what are we going to do?
Bale any day of the week.
Where's he going to put Bale then?
Bale's got to start up front instead of Mora.
Mora will be out.
You can just Bale for Mora. I say Bale for Mora.
Easy. So, can you imagine Harry Kane feeding off Son and Bale on each side, running at full speed at defenders? They're gonna be frightened. They're gonna be shitting themselves.
But when he stays fit, you got 2 players that have a bad record in fitness. That's Kane and that's Bale. I think if we get 45 minutes, 50 minutes a game in the Premiership from Bale, great. That would be great. You can't expect him. You know, it's going to take him a month to get to match fitness.
Honestly, at least. Yeah, I agree with that. So, right, we've done the first half, which was very bad. Let's talk about what we did well in the second half. Why did that go so? What did we change? Steve?
Well, I think getting a goal almost on the stroke of half time, always gives you a psychological advantage, which I assumed we wouldn't take because that's us. Yeah. However, we then got a quick second goal. Yeah. That means they've got to push up even more than they were in terms of their high line, which left huge gaps. And then Son was able to exploit them from Kane's passing. That was pretty well it, really. Yeah. Yeah. They did show more desire, more fight for a second ball, and really knocked Southampton out of their stride. We had the anomaly of the strange VAR penalty at the end. Yeah. But you know, we're going to get those. We're going to get those all season. You just got to almost play with your hands in your pockets.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't think that was a penalty. What can you do? Well, what do you think?
Yeah, well, what I think very clearly, I mean, Steve's absolutely right, but it just turned into what I think made the big difference to me is bringing Lo Celso on, changing a bit in the midfield, Kane dropping back and becoming the provider. I mean, someone's had to take that role. Son's been on fire since the lockdown, right? He's been scoring freely. He did in pre-season, and Jamal and me happened to watch all the pre-season games because we like that. It was fantastic, and he's carried on. You've got to feed the guy. I mean, he's shooting. I mean, that first goal was incredible, really. I mean, if Danny Ings' goal was good, so was Son's.
Well, imagine if we had Danny Ings in our team, but anyway, that's another discussion for another time. So, what did you think about? Sorry, Steve, were you going to say something?
I was only going to just quickly say, with Son, he can use both feet. So I think you got 2 goals with his left, 2 goals with his right. Just shame about the header.
So Jamal, what did you think about the second half and what we did well?
I think it was is essentially what my dad said there. It's the link between the Son and Kane. We were missing that. They weren't on the same wavelength against Everton at all. Every time they tried to pass the ball to each other, one guy's over here, the other guy's over there. Today, it clicked, you know. Plus, like I said, Southampton's high line really helped us. You know, Lo Celso coming on made the difference. I don't understand I don't understand why Mourinho likes these 2 defensive-minded midfielders. I don't think that's, you know, if we're playing against Liverpool, I understand it, but you know, we're going to Southampton. We want to win. We want to go in attacking. Why didn't Ndombele and Lo Celso start instead of Winks?
Yeah,
or even Højbjerg?
I think he's defensive-minded coach, but I don't know about you guys, but we were great going forward. But our defense still gives me jitters every time I see Sanchez and Eric Dyer. I just think, here we go, another goal is going to happen here. What do you think?
I mean, their first goal was a good example of that, wasn't it? And I mean, you make a good point there, Jamal. I don't understand if you're going to play that kind of game, which is, for me, a game that suits Sissoko a lot better than some of the other wings. I mean, you know, he's a hard nut. He can hold the ball. He can take people on, and he can keep it, right? And the way that they were pressing, you needed that because they were pressing. I mean, they pressed very hard in midfield. I mean, I have to say though, I mean, if Southampton, who looked very good at times,
good team. They looked a good team.
They're going to play that high line against some of the other teams that are out there. They're definitely going to go down. You can't be playing right up to the halfway line the whole game. I mean, you know, they caught us out a couple of times on offsides, but I mean, yeah, they got punished in the end, didn't they?
It just proves. I think we made the right decision selling Walker Peters anyway.
I know
I know he did the goal, but which was going to happen anyway. You always play best against your ex-teams, don't you? But I don't think he's there really physically to be a right back anyway.
He's at the right club for him.
One little more point about that, but you know, you're absolutely right. Why Alderweireld is on the bench when he's probably our best defender, albeit a bit slow?
Yeah, I don't understand some of these things.
Are we going to persist with Dyer? I know he speaks Portuguese. Mourinho loves him. They can talk to each other, etc., etc. But come on, I know you love him too, Steve. But I mean, he's slow. He's weak and he's ponderous.
But he does have a physical presence that Sanchez doesn't have. When I see Sanchez, he looks like Bambi on ice.
But that's on the floor.
He's about to fall. He's hesitant.
But he's got speed though. We don't have speed in our centre back. It's the one thing he's got.
That what he does have his pace, but when he gets to the ball, he's all over the place.
You get it there. Yeah.
He reminds me a bit of a better Aurea.
Oh yeah.
Whereas if Aurea's got the ball, you know there's going to be a penalty, you know it's going to be a free kick. So I'll give him that. He's better than Aurea.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a good win, 5-2. There's some. Absolutely. What do you guys think about? What can we do? We still haven't kept a clean sheet. God knows when we're going to keep a clean sheet. That's the thing that worries me. If you don't keep clean sheets, you're going to reduce your chance. You're going to lose more games than you win, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think,
I don't see where that's coming from at the moment, a clean sheet. I don't know where it's coming.
It's going to be tough. I think
we're going to have to outscore the opposition. Yeah,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Though I completely agree about Sanchez and they are not being our ideal centre-back pairing. Compared to this time last year, I think we've improved defensively overall. I'm hoping another centre-back's coming in, but I don't know if it's going to be a starting centre-back. I don't know if it's going to be an improvement on there. I mean, it's tough. I guess it's like a give-take type of situation. We got the positions we wanted covered.
That Ben Davies had one of his best games for a long time, I think.
Very well. He's probably got the fear of God in him, you know?
We didn't talk about him. That's probably why. I think the new left back we're getting in Reguilón is going to make a massive
Absolutely.
difference. I mean, if he was in the team of the year for La Liga, that says something. He's a winner. He's won a cup. Just one point I want to throw in there on the defense. Why aren't we giving Juan Foyth a chance? I mean, he can get into the Argentinian team and he can't get into the Spurs team, seriously. I mean, you know, he's made a lot of mistakes. And I remember those 2 penalties he gave away against Wolves. But, I mean, can he be any worse?
Well, I personally think it's Mourinho doesn't forgive. There was a mistake against Norwich where he gave the ball away and they scored. He just hasn't forgiven him for that. He doesn't trust him.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think on Foyth, Steve?
I don't think
he's a bit lightweight.
Yeah.
And, you know, being particularly a central defender is knowing when to pass it and when to clear it. And I don't know that he knows that or doesn't seem to. He reminds me a little bit of Sanchez in that way. Whereas when Alderweireld's there, you can relax when he's got the ball. You don't relax when any other centre have the ball.
Okay, I take it right back. You're absolutely right. He's crap. I think Toby's fit. Toby should play every time.
Toby is fit. There's nothing wrong with him. I think he's just saving him because of the run of games we have.
Yeah, they can't play, 50 games a season. They just can't
play that. Yeah, you're right. I agree.
Especially he's like 32 now.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to sell Foyth to Fulham or something, aren't they? Or Leeds?
I think Foyth can go. I think Foyth, if he's going to play, he's going to play in the Carabao Cup. And,
he should go. I agree with you.
Give him a loan even, he'll do all right somewhere else.
We need to get rid of a lot of players. I mean, another thing I say, I don't know how impressed any of you were with Doherty, who came in with such a big reputation. Not so impressed.
He's doing the simple stuff, though.
Yeah, give him time. I'm a lot more. He's doing a lot of better defending. You're not seeing a lot more. I think give him time, mate.
Right,
I agree.
But for somebody running down on the right back, I don't see any crosses coming in. You did see a lot from Aurier, even though 90% of them were hopeless. But at least you put a lot in.
He's not your attacking right back type of player, though. He's just gonna.
He got 10 goals, didn't he, last season? 9 goals.
From running in late into the box and kind of getting easy tap-ins.
Okay.
But that's with Wolves, who play a really high tempo, quick passing game. That's not like Spurs.
Well, it used to be. So what about Reyes? What's your take on the Bale situation? We cannot finish this conversation without talking about.
Of course.
Gareth Bale is amazing. I don't care if he's half fit or quarter fit. He's better than everybody in that team except Kane and Son. So he's a no-brainer for me to get him back. Even on a loan, I think if he's, as Steve said, if we get 20, 30 games out of him, it'd be brilliant. Just impact player, or he can start. He can do stuff. He's an X-factor player, so we definitely need him, I think. And I heard rumours that Harry Kane was sort of murmuring about leaving unless something was done. So I don't know if that's true or not. But
I'm very happy with that.
Steve, you said to me after the last game, in Everton's game, you said to me, Kane will be gone by January. What do you feel now?
Well, I was feeling very depressed after that game. So I was probably saying things probably things I wouldn't normally say. But there were times last season when I was thinking I wouldn't blame Kane if he went, just the way we were playing. But I mean, he's going to be on cloud 9 after this. The whole team is. You're sort of judged by your last game, aren't you? A lot of the time. If him and Bale click, then fantastic. I do worry about Bale having his best years behind him, but I think, as you said, it's if we get half a game from him, brilliant.
Yeah. I say get him on the right. Get every chance he gets, get him on his left foot and have him shooting from out the box. He still holds the record in the Premiership for the most goals in one season from outside the box, which is 9.
You're doing your research, Kamal. That's good.
Kamal, I like that. You're going to be our stat man, man. You've got yourself a job straight away there.
I wasn't right. I got it completely wrong, but what the hell? Pick it up.
I want to get Jamal's views on Bale.
Yeah,
Where do we
I have a
think
few
we should
things to
play
say
him?
about Bale. So I've heard a lot of Tottenham fans talking about him being on the right. Remember when he played for us, he preferred being on the left, just coming in. He had the pace. So I think just having him as an option, as an outlet, even if he doesn't start games, like, you know, what Lamela came on in the 60th minute. Imagine that was Bale coming on the 60th minute. That'd be amazing.
So, guys, let me sort of start to wrap this up now. What do you think, Steve? Let me start with Steve. What's our realistic ambition this year? What do you think we can do?
Oh, we've got to get to top four. We've got to get to top four.
I know we want to. That's an aspiration, but realistically,
no, I think we can. I think we can get top four.
So with Bale and Reguilon, you think we can get there?
Yeah.
Even with the performance you saw in the first half.
You're putting me on the spot there, aren't you? No, even with that performance,
It can change every week. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve,
we've got to go top four.
Steve says top four. What do you say, Kamal?
Right, I think that we still need a backup striker. I think we still need someone in midfield. If we get the players that we need and Mourinho gets those, then top four is a must. I mean, looking at what Man United did yesterday gives me a lot of hope. I hope that the VAR now stops whoever Alex Ferguson sitting in the VAR box has come to an end compared to what happened last season. I mean, they've got their comeuppance, and that's really where we need to be attacking. I mean, Arsenal have had 2 easy games. They won. I mean, we start. Those are the weakest links right now that we need to be better than. I mean, let's face it. We've got Manchester City, we've got Liverpool, and we've got Chelsea with their 300 new players. Maybe we need to be targeting beating those 2 teams where we see the weaknesses. I mean, if we can be better than Chelsea, I'd be very happy. I want to see some silverware. We've got to get it somewhere. I mean, whether it's the Carabao Cup or, I mean, you know, anything. I mean, Europa, we only just scraped through in Europa, so I'm not holding too much hope there, to be honest with you.
We haven't talked about that one, Claude.
No, we
another time.
We have needed last time.
Too much depressed. So you reckon, not what you aspire to, but what's your prediction? Do you think top 4 and a cup?
I think right now that's what we would all want, but I think realistically, I think, you know, we're definitely a top 6 team. It's too early to say. The cup. Yeah. I mean, let's see how long Bale stays fit. Bale stays fit, you got a cup. Bale gets injured, I've crocked after 3 games, then goodbye cup.
Okay. Jamal, over to you. What's your prediction? What do you think?
Hopefully Bale does not get injured too quickly. Hopefully he takes his time, gets into the team. I don't mind waiting a month to see him start. I think there should be no reason why we shouldn't be competing. Like, realistically, we could win a Europa League, we could win an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. I'm not saying we're going to win all 3, but we should be in the mix for all of them. As far as I think top 4 should absolutely be our aspirations. I think it's going to be very interesting to see Chelsea Liverpool today. We'll see where they're both at. I think Chelsea will obviously take some time to gel together. Too many new players, but they have a good foundation. Lampard's a great manager. Liverpool are going to be weaker, even though they've made 2 good signings. They're just, you know, time. Their hunger is going to be a little less. I'm going to say, you know. We'll see where City are at. I'm sure they're going to have improved. They always do. But I think apart from the big teams, I think the smaller teams are going to be much tougher to beat. I think even like West Brom yesterday, they looked really good for half an hour until they got that red card. And, you know, that was their game in their hands and they just threw it away. So I think there's going to be a lot of upsets this season. I think our main focus, other than beating the 2 teams ahead of us, are going to be beating the teams below us, which is always where we slip up.
Where we always slip up, what you say.
Good scalp, I say.
Yeah.
That's a
From
team.
my point of view, unless we shore up the defence with another defender, I can't. With Dyer and Sanchez in there's no way we're going to make top 4. I'm sorry. With those 2 guys there, I don't think we can make top 4. I think we fullbacks are okay, but with Dyer and Sanchez, no. So I agree with Kamal. I think top 6 and Europa League, potentially a cup, depending on whether we get a good draw or not. So that's my prediction. But we can.
Go on, carry on. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying we can. This is an ongoing thing, so we can review it. But I just wanted to get your thoughts.
I've got one prediction that I really want to make, and you can hold me to this till the end at the end of the season. I think we will definitely take 6 points off Fulham.
Yeah, you're saying that too soon. If Scott Parker come back and haunt us, I can definitely see
Paolo
that.
Zaganiga in goal, and he'll do a worldie against us. So
Scott Parker going to sub himself in, do a little twirl.
I'm sticking by that. I want the 6 points.
You said Arsenal had 2 easy games, Fulham and West Ham. People will say we had 2 easy games, Everton and Southampton.
Yeah.
They got 6 points.
Everton are a top team.
I think Everton are a top 4 team.
We played the second half like we played Spurs against Everton, we would have beaten them, I think.
You know what? Can I say something to you? I really think a 1-0 loss against Everton is very flattering to us.
They haven't beaten us. Steve will correct me, but it's like 10 years or something. They haven't beaten us.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was. I think they've in 60 games away to the top 4 teams.
Never beaten anybody.
First win.
Yeah, it had to be Tottenham as usual. So
of course.
Okay.
Well, we always help teams that are in.
Help them out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, help them out. Give them a helping hand. You know.
You know who never gives us a helping hand? West Ham yesterday.
No, they never do.
No.
They'll raise their game against us because it's their.
No, they sure will.
So let's
roll over for Arsenal.
Yeah, they will definitely. Great stuff, guys. I really enjoyed talking to you. Before I go, I want to ask each one of you if you had one guy that you could sell before the window, who would it be? So I want to start with Steve.
Good question.
Serge Aurier.
Serge Aurier. Okay, good.
We need a backup right back though.
I could play it right back rather than.
Right, Mr. Elder Fazy, what do you think?
What do I think? Yeah, I mean, Ndombele.
Yeah.
Get the money and
I agree.
reinvest it all.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a wild one. I'm gonna say Dele Alli. You know, I would keep Ndombele for his position, or just for his position, because Dele Alli cannot play as a centre midfielder. I don't think we need him. I think we have lots of very good attacking, across that front three. Yeah. If we can get 80 to 100 million for him, how much would that reinvest into the squad? Imagine the type of centre back we could buy for a Dele Alli trade.
Yeah. Now I'm going to surprise you guys with my choice, but I think we should get rid of Harry Winks.
Winks?
Yeah, I don't like Winks at all. He's lateral everywhere. I never see a forward pass on the guy.
Lateral. It's hard to hate him though. He's such a nice guy.
I don't hate him, but ideal world, if we could get 40 million for Winks and get a second striker in, I'd take it.
You know what? Wolves would love him.
Yeah. Winks is not a game changer as far as I see. But anyway.
He's not.
Well, guys, listen, that's been really great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate talking to you. This is obviously, we'll talk after the next match, I think. I'll arrange something and we can have a chat.